Dan, it was another game where there was positives. Usman's start was fantastic. Yanni's game was terrific, but again, not quite enough to get the win.
Yeah, specifically for this game, you summed it up pretty well. It's probably, obviously, we've been through a very tough season, probably 2 seasons. But it's probably, I think, the first time that I really feel that it can be misery for the rest of the. We have 5 more games, and we have to do something to change it, so it will be better. Yeah, there are positives. The breakers, the good thing about the breakers this year, we've mentioned it many times, is that even if we're playing the worst game, and a guy like Usman or Hugo are making progress, it's huge. Okay, so this is definitely a positive, and I think that everybody who watches these games, no fans, nobody really cares. I don't know how many people are watching, but if people are watching, then for sure they enjoy to see development of a guy like that. But as a group, I feel very bad. Okay, and I hope that the rest of the way we're playing for. We have 5 more games in the next. We have a tough stretch now. I hope that the rest of the way we'll find the fuel and just the professionalism to connect and to play and to defend, to play a little bit better, just for ourselves.
Don't worry, we still care, I promise. Once Usman came into the game in the first quarter, things really changed. Is that the best you've seen him play in that first half?
He's been doing it every game now, and every game it seems like, again, it's not perfect, and I know that Usman will get the feedback, and we just expect always more and more. So in terms of consistency and maybe a little drop in a few plays in the third quarter, are things to look at to improve. But for me, it feels like he's been stepping it up every game. Every game, it's a step forward from being worried about him and not really sure that he can. Now that it's too early for him to be in this intensity and physicality. From that starting point to the point that whenever we can, we just put the ball in his hands, and we see the different qualities, and we want him as involved as possible. So that's a huge path, and now it feels like he's getting better from game to game. So at least we have 5 more games to enjoy him.
Usman, it looked like you could do anything in that first half. You were unstoppable. How much fun was that? Was that for you?
That was cool, but I'm just trying to do my best for the team and to help my team the best I can.
I noticed you agreeing with Dan when he said there was some things you can work on from the third quarter. Is that something that you'll be focusing on the next 5 games to keep improving in whatever areas you can?
Yeah, obviously, I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect, so I have a lot of things to work on. And yeah, I will have a feedback, and I will work on that.
Similar to what Dan said, you need to find a way to not make these last 5 games miserable. From your point of view, how can you make it a fun 5 games to finish this season?
I think it's just in our heads. We have nothing to lose now, so we have just to play. We just have to enjoy playing, and it will be good, I think.
Like Dan said, it's remarkable how different of a player you look now to what you were at the start of the season. Do you feel a lot more confident and comfortable out on the court playing at this level now than you did a few months ago?
Yeah, obviously. When I started this season, that wasn't good, and I just work every day in practice and in game to improve every day, and I'm confident now. I'm really more confident now.
Dan, you talked about how to try to, make these 5 games as unmeasurable as you can, to put it in a different way. I mean, I'm sure you've been trying that already. Do you have any thoughts on what you can try differently over these last 3 weeks?
I definitely need to think about it and maybe come up with something creative. Usually what I try to do is just stay the course and prepare for the game and just maintain the standards and do the things you always do. You try to fix something with somebody, have a little chat with, you think personally, you think defensive adjustments, you think maybe something that can give us an edge. I definitely need to think, we all do need to think about that. It's tough to find it, to find rhythm, as they like to say. These are all titles for a team that is really engaged, playing together, communicating well, and usually these things happen under different circumstances than what we have right now. At the same time, we have a lot of good characters, a lot of good people, and I'm sure they care. And it's not easy playing good basketball is not easy. And there's no one formula for solving problems. But today, it was bad. It was bad for me. Leaving the game thinking this is what it's going to be for the next 5 games. Everybody's heads are already somewhere else, and there's no real something that really pushes us from the outside. Hopefully, I'm going to give it the best shot I got, and we all will to find a way to, as everybody understand, okay, you're playing with no real goal. You're not going to play for title play or it's just for yourself. Respect, for yourself, for who you are as a coach, a player, and as a team. And I'm really hoping that we'll find a way to win games and play better.
You've got a trip to Perth next. You've played well against them so far this season. You probably owe them one too.
Yeah, we're playing, again, it's going to be a tough stretch, or let's say intense stretch. We're playing 5 games from today until probably middle of next week in 5 different cities with a lot of travel, and it's all good. It's all good if you are going to use the opportunity to do something. And we played Perth recently twice. One of the games was amazing. Second game was also good. Came out short, but we had a pretty good, let's say, 30 minutes in Perth. But that's nothing to do with it. We're probably mentally in a bit of a different place, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who feels like that. And we have a lot of good players and leaders that can do something better than that for the next game.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you.